beautiful souls, my dear friends. Welcome back to another episode of Soul Alchemy. This is a beautiful series that I am really enjoying connecting with you in this slightly different way, where I'm just sharing what is on my heart and what I'm feeling. And it's really interesting as well for me that this was wanting to be expressed through me and birthed moving through the energies, particularly of December 2025, when I am recording these, because there is so much coming into my field this month and so much for all of us about igniting our power, igniting our light, and stepping into the expression of that. And so it's not lost on me that I am here sharing my heart, my soul with you in this space. And I really enjoy connecting in this slightly different format for me, even though I can't see you or hear you, or there's no back and forth. I do feel the energy and the frequency coming through. So it's something that's really lighting me up, and I'm really enjoying bringing these, as I said, bringing these to you. So please use the comments to share what's resonating, or any reflections that are coming through for you, because that, of course, is the way that we can co-create and weave, and also helps me know what's on your hearts and what you're feeling, and maybe ways in which I can bring that through this video series to support you along the way as well. But I'm coming in today in preparation for December 20. As you might have guessed, if you've been following this series, or maybe you follow my social media, or maybe you're one of my dear clients, so you're on my email list, you've seen me talking about these significant kind of dates that have been coming up for me, and bringing this energy, bringing a almost like a vibrational path. It's really hard for me to put it into words, but I just feel the connection through these numbers and these frequencies, and how it's speaking to me this month. So I wanted to share this, to bring this through for you, because maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. Remember, please honor your own discernment and your sovereignty. This is just coming from my heart, my soul, my perspective. So I am not the be all and end all here, and I don't have all of the answers or all of the puzzle pieces, but this is just what's on my heart and what I'm feeling. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And that's why I love hearing from you what else is coming in, because sometimes you bring something that brings the complete picture for me as well. But I'm focusing this particular video on December 20 because, we've moved through December 1, the December 12, which were the two kind of key points leading up to the solstice. Now, depending on where you are in the hemisphere, here in the southern, we're obviously moving into the summer solstice, but we do have the northern hemisphere, which are moving into that energy of the winter. And what is interesting for me is how December 20 is coming forward. And I want to caveat this first, because as somebody who works with people all around the world and has deep connections in the northern hemisphere as well as the southern hemisphere, because that's where I live, I often feel like we can experience, the multidimensionality. We can experience all of the aspects of the energy coming through. So what often happens for me, much like when we were in winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, I was really feeling a lot of the summer solstice energies and the light energies earlier in the year. And I feel like this is where we have the opportunity to also tap into both sides of that coin, so to speak, no matter where you are. And I say that because December 20 is actually coming forward as the womb of stillness before the ignition of the solstice. And so it has an energy of that winter solstice feeling too. So I wanted to just open that up, and again, trust what you're feeling, what resonates, and just to be aware, because maybe You come to that time, maybe it's a week after, maybe it's months after, but you realize there was some thread or some connection to this date. This womb of stillness before the solstice ignition. So, what I was hearing is that this is a portal of dissolution, of quieting, and crystalline rearrangement. Again, you know, I've been speaking a little bit about the DNA, the cellular recoding that is happening, or I feel is coming through the field for us a lot at the moment, and particularly in this month as well. So I feel like December 20 is not so much a day of activation, but allowing the integration of the activations that have already occurred across the month. So allowing just soft breath before we hit that real ignition or expansion of the solstice light. So it's the pause before the embodiment is taken into action. So it is like honoring the phase in the cycle where we are pausing, resetting, recalibrating. We are allowing the integration. So this was an image that has come through across the month through, for me personally, and in a lot of client sessions, but it's like floating on water, like, you know, when you're in the ocean or even in a pool or perhaps in a salt bath where you feel yourself floating. And it's that beautiful sensation of almost being held in the womb and held by the mother. And this is important because it allows you to relax. It allows the body to relax, because how does it feel when you even just visualize, just imagine that you are lying in a warm, dark pool of water, bath of water, ocean of water, visualizing that is the womb of the Divine Mother. Can you feel that relaxation? Can you feel the softening that happens and the letting go? You can even visualize this as a sense of just laying on the earth if that feels better for you. But why this is important is because it is the rest that allows the cells, it allows the body, it allows your energetic field to reorganize itself. And that reorganizing is bringing you into the frequency of the being that you are becoming. It is bringing you into the frequency of who you are in this moment. So it's a funny thing. They're saying you are not doing, you are being done. That's a really funny phrase. But you are not doing, you are being done. So you're being rewritten by the light. You're being rewritten by your soul, your spirit, yourself. You are being rewritten in a language older than history. And this stillness reveals your true shape. This is the preparation that comes through surrender. So it almost feels enlightening. And I don't know why that's the word that's coming into my field, into my awareness, but it feels enlightening to embrace this period of surrender, of rest, but being held, being supported, being safe. You know, we've been speaking a little bit about understanding our foundation and understanding that is within us. And this is just another way of accessing that and another way of feeling that. So December 20 or thereabouts, there will be a time where you're being asked to soften, not to strive, not to push, and not to accelerate through activation, because we're so keen to activate, aren't we? Because we want to move forward. We want to get to the next point in the journey. But here, we're being asked to rest, to allow, to trust the unseen integration that happens in those quiet moments. And this is the challenging piece for the mind, isn't it? Because to rest, it feels like we're not doing anything. And a key message coming through is to understand that there is a lot that is occurring in the unseen, in those moments of rest, of pause, of stillness, that is happening beyond anything the mind can comprehend. So maybe you're like me, already feeling a little bit tired, the fatigue, the exhaustion going up and down, and blank sometimes. Like it's like hard to get the mind into focus, into organization mode. It's because your inner architecture is assembling and your mental channels are clearing. And if you allow yourself to be still, you allow that energy to gather. As we said, it's the frequency of your becoming, bringing a calmness while your nervous system is harmonizing to this. And sometimes, and this might be you right now, you're feeling nothing. And that's because everything is happening underneath. It's happening in the unseen. So you're invited and encouraged to let yourself exhale into that quiet. My feel is coming in the field as we're here in this moment is that many of us will feel nothing. And we'll be trying to feel something. We will want to feel something because then we know something's happening. But the biggest lesson of this experience, the biggest opportunity you have in this experience, in the feeling of nothing, is to surrender into the quiet. To tell the mind that that's because everything is happening underneath the surface. Transformation is not always loud. Sometimes it happens in that silence. Because sometimes our evolution sounds like nothing at all. So be open to this perspective. Be open to the understanding that feeling nothing is sometimes the most powerful feeling of all, because the transformation is happening underneath. So think of this particular day or this time leading in, because often for me, I feel it a week coming into whatever the significant number or day or time is, that you're in a cocoon. You're not waiting, you're not seeking, you're not searching, you're not trying to make anything happen. You're being. Because in the cocoon, all of the work is happening. Because you are moving into becoming. So allow yourself to be in stillness, to trust in the unseen and allow perhaps a silent reconfiguration of your being. And surrendering into the womb of quiet remembrance, softening into your becoming. Softening in preparation for that ignition of the solstice. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're really feeling this whole solstice might be cocoon type energy, you might be wanting to be in the nothingness of the cosmic womb, the void. And you could be in the Southern Hemisphere and feeling that as well. And so I feel that the caveat coming is not to expect on the solstice, particularly in the Southern Hemisphere, that ignition to happen in that particular time. Because remember, we are all experiencing this in our own way, in our own pace, in our own time. But I share this with the help to calibrate, to prepare, and to open perspective to what might be there. So think of this as like a resource. a resource to empower you to witness what is present for you and be with what is present for you. Because I feel like what we're seeing in the field, the more I speak to you, is also this is not about fireworks, phoenix bursting, rising. It's not about so much the catalyst type energy, but this is descending more deeply within. You are the embryo floating. You are the seed that is resting. You are the star that is gestating behind the veil. So it's that moment before birth. It is the moment before birth where things go really quiet. And what it feels like to me is cocoon energy. It's interesting that I don't want to limit this, so it might be a phoenix for you, it might be a starburst for you, it might be a firework for you. But let it be okay if it's something softer, if it's more cocoon-like, if it is the butterfly just emerging from the cocoon. That's the type of transformation that I'm feeling in this particular time. There is a catching up here to understanding all that you have already become, but you need to almost slow right down and come to this point of complete stillness for you to recognize that too. So for some of you, this time of being in the womb space, in the void space, in the slowing down, the rest, the pause, the laying on the grass and looking at the sun, the starlight, could be the sunlight, star or sunlight. It is for you to recognize who you have already become. Because so many of you have done that inner work and you have achieved so much. You have shifted, grown, evolved, changed, but you're still kind of looking ahead. You're still looking for the next thing to do. And this is really calling you into the full presence of who you have become. And to witness that as part of that cycle as well. Because we can miss those quiet moments, the unseen moments. And sometimes we need to witness that we are actually, we're acting differently, we're being differently, we're doing things without thinking about them maybe as we would have before. I know for me personally, what I can share is that I'm witnessing that I'm living the life that I had been dreaming about for a really, really long time. And it didn't really occur or land for me that, hey, I've arrived, I'm doing it, this is it. And there was such a different frequency in bringing in that feeling of, oh, I'm doing it, this is it. I'm not waiting for something, I'm not seeking something, I'm not trying to be something or trying to achieve something. I'm already doing it. And there was a whole frequency that shifted around that for me. And quite often that's what I find comes through in a session with my clients is sometimes I need to mirror that to them and reflect that to them as well for them to witness themselves. So this is a time that's inviting you to witness for you. And you know, for some people, as we move through this Christmas New Year period, there is an opportunity to slow down physically as well. And so it allows you to be with the stillness and lean into that. And I know that's not always easy, and I know it's the last thing we feel like doing sometimes, but there's a really strong invitation here for you to rest, for you to listen, the invitation for you to soften, to remember that stillness is not stagnant. It's not stagnation. I can't get the word out. It's not stagnation. It's actually sacred preparation. It's sacred preparation. So I'm going to leave it with you there. And hold space for you to rest, to soften and to surrender, and to visualize yourself floating in that ocean of water. Maybe you take yourself to the ocean, maybe you take yourself to a bath, maybe you lay on the earth, looking at the stars, at the sun, at the clouds, the sky, and just let yourself be. Witness this moment of sacred preparation for the becoming that is unfolding in this season of your transformation. And recognize this as an important part of the cycle that we move through in our growth, our evolution, our transformation. This is always available to us, and it will always come forward depending on where you are in your cycle. So make friends with rest, with stillness, with the nothing. And know that this is probably one of the most powerful moments of the cycle, and an important one for you to honor and witness within yourself. Dasho ke tai sen oshakia no ko yamusaki lai to shamotai sek ohik ai le oko yam o saiti shoku o yan iraki so shan e to o yam ok ai set o shena. This is a little bit of light language to help you kind of acclimate, is what I'm hearing. Not calibrate, acclimate. Gohin ashut o kan it osha, to rest, to stillness. Gush an erokoyam is ot aisho. It is the Star Mothers Collective or Council. Kea to sham ohyan ai rom aset osh oya. Me orek an o shati romai se ashoyat ye. Ge oyat ye nos aishohim o ka. Laento yam o sai sho. 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 Taking a deep breath in and just breathing and sinking deeply into the hips, the pelvis, the root chakra. Let yourself surrender, let yourself soften. Come in more deeply within your body, within your being, yourself. My friends, it's been such a joy and an honor to share this with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for walking this path with me. And enjoy this time of surrendering to softness, to stillness, to self. And I will see you very soon. Until then, much love.